What is good, Ninja? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE, Nintendo Switch, and gaming news video. Today we're going to be focusing on Metroid. Yes, because we had count them, two brand new Metroid games announced for the Nintendo 3DS in addition to the Nintendo Switch. So let's get into this press release first from Mercury Steam. Those are the developers behind the Metroid game on the Nintendo 3DS called Metroid Samus Returns. So here's the press release. Mercury Steam proudly announces being the developer behind Nintendo's recently announced Metroid Samus Returns game. Mercury Steam, the award-winning independent development studio behind multi-million selling Castlevania Lords of Shadow series, announces a collaboration with Nintendo on the latest Metroid game for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. Metroid Samus Returns was announced on Nintendo Treehouse Live at E3 2017 and will be exclusively available on the Nintendo 3DS family of systems. Metroid is one of the most recognized Nintendo franchises, and we are so honored to collaborate with them on the latest game in the saga of space-faring bounty hunter Samus Aran, said Eric Alvarez, head of studio at Mercury Steam. Our collaboration with Nintendo will give gamers around the world the chance to play this fantastic adventure in a completely new way not seen before. The development of this Metroid game with Mercury Steam has gone very smoothly, and more than anything, it has been very exciting, said Yoshiro Sakamoto, senior officer of Nintendo's Entertainment Planning and Development Department and the producer of the overall Metroid franchise. Metroid Samus Returns is based on the Game Boy Classic Metroid 2 Return of Samus, and we are very confident that this collaboration with Mercury Steam is the reason we have been able to successfully pull together various features like actions never seen before in the Metroid series. A stunning recreation of the planet SR388 and classical Metroid gameplay elements into a single powerful package. Metroid Samus Returns launches exclusively on the Nintendo 3DS family of systems on September 15th, 2017. For more information, you can visit Nintendo's site, and then you can talk about Mercury Steam. They talk about them as far as what they've done before. So they've done Castlevania Lords of Shadow. They did one which, in my opinion, was very good. I actually have all the achievements for the Xbox 360 game, and then Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which wasn't very good. They also did Castlevania. There was one on the 3DS that they did as well, which was, I guess, so-so. They're also doing Raiders of the Broken Planet on the PS4, Xbox One, and like PC, Steam, and all of that. So that's pretty much Mercury Steam if you don't know about them. So they do have some classic 2D ties, and and like I said, they have worked on franchises before that were, I guess, somewhat dead and then brought back. So Castlevania wasn't dead, but the sales were really going down, and then they employed them, as far as Konami employed them, to make Castlevania that was more modernized, that was kind of 3D, and it kind of was like God of War. Really, it was like God of War. The dude had like a chain whip thingy, and he hit people into the air. It felt a lot like God of War. And it did well, the first one, then the second one didn't do so well. Then they did the Castlevania on the 3DS, and that one did not so well either, but they are back, and this one, from what everyone is saying at E3, they're playing it, it feels really good to play. It feels really good to play, and Mercury Steam is really on board because Nintendo's guidance. I think that's the biggest thing. You have an established franchise, you have something that you're working off of. You can kind of say, okay, well, this works because it worked in Metroid 2. This works because we have a framework of what to do as far as making a great game. So some people were a little worried that Mercury Steam was making the game, and I was not, because it's overseen by Nintendo, and the developers are competent. They can make a 2D game. It's all about who is, leading and strong leadership and things like that. That's what you need when you're talking about making a game. You need good leadership, and Nintendo provides that good leadership in making a game, especially when handling one of their good or favorite franchises, Metroid being one of the classic franchises that Nintendo has. So I'm not really worried about that, but I did want to get into some other news in terms of Metroid, and I'll talk about Samus Returns more in other videos as we get closer to the launch of the game. Really, there's not much to say. It's Metroid 2, but it's much better. It's remade. They've added some really cool stuff like the counter, the melee counter. They've added full directional inputs for shooting. There's a lot of great things about this game, and I'm going to buy it, plain and simple. I want the game. I want it in my collection. I'm going to beat it. I've never played Metroid 2, so I'm excited to play this game. Amazon, it's always funny looking at the Amazon sales charts because you can look and kind of get a feel of kind of what's going on. And you didn't see this, I guess, a ton with the Wii U. You saw it with the 3DS, but Amazon, and with it being Amazon being the biggest retailer pretty much out there, they're bigger than Best Buy and multiple other stores combined when it comes to just overall video games and overall sales within everything. And Amazon is crazy at this point, because Super Mario Odyssey is at number 2 in the top 10 sales charts, and this is for the US or North America, or actually just US. And ARMS is number 4. Metroid Samus Returns is number 6. Horizon Zero Dawn is number 7. That DLC probably prompted it back up here. And Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is number 8. And then coming in, rounding out the top 10, is the title screen, or the now in development title little picture for Metroid Prime 4. So you can already pre-order the game, and people are already excited about it, even though all you have is basically that one screen there. That's all you got. But in this video, it's not to talk about where it is on a sales chart. What I wanted to discuss was Metroid 4 and what I think the game should add, some elements, some ideas that I think that it could do, in addition to the engine that it's running on. So we found out that Yoshi, the Yoshi Switch game, is running on Unreal Engine 4. So just like the rumor stated, and I think Dr. Trey was one of the ones that came out and said it, he stated that, yeah, Nintendo's going to be using some Unreal Engine 4 games. Like, they're going to have some games in-house development with Unreal Engine 4. Now, Shigeru Miyamoto even came out and said, yeah, we've mastered Unreal Engine 4. Our developers can use it. And then you look at that Yoshi game, and yeah, it's looking really good. Now, if you remember with Yoshi's Woolly World, that game went through somewhat of a troubled development. If you look at what Nintendo showed off at the beginning with the yarn and how it was supposed to look, if you look at that, then you look at the final product as far as what Yoshi's Woolly World came out to be, it definitely changed, and Nintendo went blank and silent on it. Whereas with Unreal Engine 4, they're able to, hey, we showed it off, it's coming 2018, here you go. So I think that Nintendo is going to take strategic decisions in Japan when it comes to certain franchises, so you don't have the long development periods that the Wii U saw. And that's all thanks to the Nintendo Switch, the efficient ARM CPU, in addition to Tegra, right? It's not basic in the terms of what it does because it's so small, but the fact that it's just known technology. It's been around for a few years. People know how to develop on it. It's not too hard to port over from PC and everything like that. And the fact that they're using Unreal Engine 4 is telling. Now, could Metroid Prime 4 use Unreal Engine 4? Since they're moving it away from Retro Studios, they're moving it back to Japan. We have confirmation that they're already using Yoshi for that, and we do know that Metroid, they announced it. I wouldn't think that it would be a 2019 game if they announced it at this point. If they announced it at this point, I don't think Nintendo would announce, you know, a game that's coming out in 2 or 3 years later, because of what happened with the Wii U, where they announced Tokyo Mirage Sessions way too early, pissed fans off, ended up not selling well. And then you also look at Xenoblade Chronicles X, which they announced way too early, and then it came out later, kind of pissed fans off, but it was great when it came out. But still, I think it lost its opportunity to have as much sales as it could. Nintendo announced Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on the Nintendo Switch, and yeah, people thought it was going to be delayed to next year. No, it's coming out this year. They really streamlined development, and I think one of the big things that they're doing to streamline development is not only the hardware of the Switch, but also using Unreal Engine 4. So something tells me, now I could be completely wrong on this one, but I think that they might be using Unreal Engine 4 or modifying that with Metroid Prime 4. It makes sense, right? Unreal Engine 4, Metroid Prime 4, no. I'm joking, that's not the reason why they would do it. But I think that if you have a game with the type of realistic graphics that Prime is aiming for, you're looking for a shooter, or basically an action shooter, right? Action adventure shooter, whatever you want to classify Metroid as. I think Unreal Engine 4 might be that, so you're not stuck in development for so long. And that's the thing, because that's what Metroid Prime is all about, right? Metroid Prime, the original, ran on a custom engine built for the GameCube. And I wouldn't say that it took a long time, but Nintendo was in a long rut as far as what to do with Metroid. On the N64, nothing came out, then finally they put together this game. And I think that they don't want to have the same thing happen. It's been a long time, right? They were in a long rut as far as what to do with Metroid. We never got one on the Wii U. It's been a while. We got one on the Wii. Well, we got a couple on the Wii, well, remakes, or a port really, of Metroid Prime Trilogy on the Wii U for the Virtual Console, and then we also got Metroid Other M on the Wii. So really, we've got nothing on the Wii U outside of that. And I think that Nintendo really wants to make sure that this one is quality, this one is streamlined as far as development goes. You can easily add in things to where you're not, you know, going behind schedule and all that. And that's the biggest thing. So I personally feel that this game has a high chance of using Unreal Engine 4. Now, I could be wrong, but just because Yoshi's using it, as far as that goes, that's what makes me think, well, hey, they're moving it back to Japan. Yoshi, the team there, is using it. It looks beautiful. It looks like it's going to be ready to go in 2018 if they're showing it off. The gameplay looks good. Nintendo might be saving that reveal of Metroid for a later date, maybe this year, or even probably next year at like an early January Direct or something like that. Say, hey, get the first look at Metroid, then maybe it's playable at E3, then it launches in the fall. That's what I would think Nintendo would do. They've done that with some of their other franchises. They've did that with like Mario Odyssey, showed it off in January, then playable at E3, and then now it's launching this fall. So I'm thinking that's going to be the big title for the fall 2018. And Unreal Engine 4 could probably make that happen as far as what they're trying to do with that style of game, the graphics that they're going for, the realistic look of it. As far as the actual game itself, as far as what I want to see, I'm probably going to make another video and probably multiple videos as we get more information, but I do want to see more of resource management. I think the biggest thing with Metroid games that's kind of irked me, especially Metroid Prime, is that yes, you have like the missiles, there's some sort of resource management, but like you're just blasting your hand cannon over and over and over and over and over again. I mean, to me, like I said, it doesn't need to be realistic because one, it's a video game, but at the same time, I would like to see that you can't just shoot a million times in a row. That's just weird that Samus can shoot so much. So I'd like to see more depth when it comes to energy, when it comes to what you can shoot, when it comes to your missiles and tying in your beam cannon, you know, spamming that beam cannon multiple times. I would just like to see them do a little bit more resource management, even when it comes to, you know, firing your gun, when it comes to having your missiles. I mean, you just get so many. I'd like to see the destructive power of them maybe even increase and decrease the amount that you get. And I really don't want to see, when it comes to Metroid, I don't want to see too much like crazy backtracking. I don't mind backtracking a little bit, but with the 3D Metroid Prime games, I think that focusing on a new direction as far as making the worlds vast, as far as making the worlds fun to interact with, to traverse, I think that should maybe be the focus of it, more so than, okay, you got this, now I'm going to go back to here, now I'm going to go back to here, okay, well, when do I get this, now I'm going back to here. I think it should really be about the exploration, exploring new worlds, and being a real bounty hunter. And I think that's the thing that the game should focus on, her being a real bounty hunter, because I don't ever feel like I'm a bounty hunter when I'm Samus. I don't ever feel like I'm a bounty hunter. I just feel like I'm in this world with unlimited resource beam cannon and I'm just shooting a bunch of things and aliens, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to actually go on some bounty hunts, you know, through the Galactic Federation, be able to collect some money and upgrade my parts and stuff like that. I would like to actually be a real bounty hunter in this game. So if that was the focus, traveling to multiple different worlds, being a real bounty hunter, maybe taking down a Metroid or taking down something as far as the last boss of the game, but also side quests where you can accept different bounties and go get rewards for that. I think that would be really, really good and really just push what Samus really is, which is a bounty hunter, you know, which is a real bounty hunter. So go collect those bounties, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't ever collect bounties, there's no money in Metroid games. So I would like to actually have that for this one. But that's just my take on it. I will have more probably as we get more information, and I'll talk about Metroid again because Metroid Prime holds a special place in my heart. In addition to all of the Metroid games, Super Metroid, that's why I was freaking out when Metroid Samus Returns was showed up. I was like, oh, it's Super Metroid, it's Super Metroid. Super Metroid is my favorite one out of all the Metroid games, followed by probably Prime after that. So yeah, I really love Super Metroid. So seeing Metroid Samus Returns was a treat, but also seeing Metroid Prime 4 in development was also a treat. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts as far as all the different articles here. Alright, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Check us out on social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs. In addition to that, we also have Patreon. Check that out, link in the description below. We have awesome rewards and perks for any tier, even the lowest one. We have Discord voice chat for our live streams. We've got giveaways, in addition to $10 prize eShop tournaments for ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and much more. So check out the Patreon page. Support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also, make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.